Hey guys, Beowulf here. How's everybody doing this evening? It's March the 2nd. It's Texas Independence Day. Um, and Me and my wife are planning a trip to San Antonio. However, I don't know with this North Mall shit, coronavirus or whatever. Um, we're going to go. But we're going to probably take a little extra precautions. No big deal. We're just going to not go where the coronavirus is at. So anyway, the title of this is Principles Above Personalities. And the reason why I've actually chosen this topic this evening is because the fact is that as we go into election season, I see posts that are back that I have to comment on. We live in a democratic society, which is a republic. In other words, we have the freedom of speech. We can actually say what we like about our candidate, what we don't like about our candidate. And we do so because we have the First Amendment. Now, any person who wants to attack an individual in their business because of this disdain for the politics they choose to represent, it's nothing but chicken shit. If you are attacking a business or a person or something because of some of their beliefs, and you're actually doing so and treating it maliciously, it's chicken shit. A person's business, their employer, where they live, their class, their whatever income, it should not be attacked. Neither should the history of your damn family. So my great grandfather was a moonshiner. You going to hold that against the entire family? Apparently so in Angelina County. Principles before personalities. That means that your principles, your morals, your values are yours. They're yours alone. That means this is what you hold dear. This is what you believe in. This is what you actually steer to actually improve your community. This is what you see and what you believe. You should be able to willingly express that without being attacked. Your business, your personality, it shouldn't be attacked. Maybe we could just say, you know what, somebody believes that way. Instead, we go negative and we say, you know what, well, these son of bitches, they. And the fact of the matter is, it's all gossip and it's all bullshit. You bring gossip and bullshit into an election, that's what you're going to get. Shit in, shit out. That's it. Because the fact is that you're quelling individuals' rights to say what they believe, what they personally believe in, their morals, their values, and their standards that they want to implement in their community. Period. And you have no right. My feelings do not end. My rights do not end where your feelings begin. I'm sorry that I offend you. I'm very sorry. Not really, but anyway. But then you want to go attack people personally because of who they're voting for or what they're voting for or whatever. You want to attack them personally. It's not a freaking personality contest. This is not the freaking 7th, 8th grade student council. These decisions affect our community, directly affect our community. So let me just go through some things before election days or whatever. And this is why this is the process that I went up to elect my candidates that I'm going to be voting, candidates that I'm voting for tomorrow. Now, there's many individuals that are very involved in this race for sheriff. However, they haven't even looked at the rest of the ballot of what they're voting for. They have no freaking clue. And we still question how many of these people just get off their dumb ass and go vote. But we're supposed to listen to their opinions first. I have made it a habit when somebody wants to come and tell me your opinion or whatever, I welcome it. I open it up. So yeah, you got your right, whatever. But the first thing I ask them is this: did you vote? Did you come out and stand up for your beliefs, your morals, your standards, and how you wanted to better the community? Did you do that? If you can't do that, you can't say that you participated, then shut the hell up. Go join the individuals who sit on the front porch and drink a beer and bitch about everything instead of getting up off their ass and go do something about it. What did you do? Did you let your feelings know? Did you let your principles know out to the public? Or did you decide, you know what, I'm just going to run this person down because the fact is that I'm going to destroy them because they don't believe the way I do? That's chicken shit. It's a negative campaign. It's kind of what we call the smear campaign. Here's the reasons why I'm voting for the way I'm voting for. Our crime rate for property theft has gone up Some say it's in between 52 to 72%. We're including 2019 in these numbers. It's gone up 70%. It's a problem that we haven't addressed. We have individuals on a sexual predator list or the sexual predator list that actually have committed a crime against minors, and we can't keep up with this. We can't keep up with the individuals. Yes, we'll see. And Mr. Sanchez, his statement was that, well, the DPS is responsible for that. No, not necessarily. The DPS is responsible for maintaining the list. They're providing you a list of the sexual predators in your area, and you're supposed to maintain it. I don't think how it would be any different to where you're driving up and down these roads. Maybe you should stop, check and see if these individuals still live here, or checking with their probation officer, make sure that they're checking in on time. Whether we like it or not, our sexual assault, bullying, and harassment has gone up 40% in the last 5 years. 40.6%. Check it out. Do your research. Check out the facts. If you have problem doing that, look at some of my posts. It'll steer you in the right way. It'll give you the information. But no, can't do that because we're going to rely on hearsay, gossip, and bullshit to make our decisions instead of checking the facts. And then we're going to actually go after other people who have actually read the facts, actually know these things, because they have nothing else left. They have nothing else left. They can't argue the facts. They can't argue the issues. They can't do anything except by go off on a statement made by our current sheriff saying, well, we're getting better than what we used to be. Well, getting better is not good enough. Our crime rate is going up faster than you're getting better. I would believe that we need some change. We need some changes in the areas. It is not only permeated through our city and our community, sexual harassment, assault, bullying, or whatever. It's not only permeated through that. Now it's invaded our high school because it's been ignored. Now we have a case of an individual being sexually assaulted in school, and we still don't have an answer on that. It's not going to go away. We have a history. We have a lawsuit that was filed against our city council for sexual harassment. The statement was, well, at least this one's got boobs. I don't know about you, but if I'm a woman, I'm like, I don't want to be judged on my character, whatever, how big my boobs are. I know women actually can work them and they can give what they want, but the fact is, I don't need to comment on them. Matter of fact, nowadays I can't even look at them without asking permission. I do show out of shits and giggles. I'm gonna look at your boobs now. Is that okay? Okay. All right, we're good. This is only part of the problem. We have a drug issue that our drug use is actually, we're a stash town. We can't not get our current sheriff to realize we are a stash town. We're not the point of distribution. It's easy to understand. We're on Highway 69, direct line from Houston to Dallas. These entities are not going to shit where they eat. These entities come up and they drop off their goods and products before they get to Huntington or Zavala for transportation up north. Would you like to know the names of the individuals doing the transportation? The Dixie Mafia is in charge of the actual convoys going up north. Why can we say that? Well, because you got the Banditos up north and up in Dallas. You got the Hells Angels taking over in Houston. Guess what? They came to an agreement, said we both can make money here. Guess what? We're going to use one person for care. We're going to use one entity for carriers, and we're going to take the Texas Mafia, and they're making bank because we're only catching individuals, and we're not doing any investigating on who's actually doing the selling and buying. We're arresting the individuals who are abusing it. Yes, great, but there's a bigger problem here. We need to look into who's doing the selling, but we don't. We don't want to. And what scares me the most is if we don't want to, is there a piece of the pie being driven back to the city or the county for turning the other head? It won't be the first time that this has happened in East Texas. It probably won't be the last. The first time that we actually experienced this was a book. It's called Tenaha. where they were actually had a individual who was a sheriff and a chief of police who actually staged a robbery for evidence room, and they got away with it. Well, one did 13, 14 months. The other one did a couple of years because the judge showed him favor. Basically, what I'm saying is that it is time for us to realize that our vote is not influenced by other people's opinions of how we vote. We are not determined of what class we are, what type of people we are, on how we vote. We vote our conscience. We vote what's actually facts. We vote on prior experience that we've had with this sheriff's department. We vote because the fact is that we do not currently believe in the way he's doing things. It's simple. And we believe that we can get better. Because we're not getting better, and we have the stats to show it. I don't know what it takes to make individual. I can do it. Just Google shit you want to find out. Even though Angelina County tries to keep everything within their bubble, they have to report things to the state. It's mandatory. And the state publishes them. You will not find any of these statistics in Lufkin Daily News or KTRE Channel 9. You will not. Why? Because the fact is that if they do report anything negative about our sheriff's department, guess what? They won't be around very long, or they'll get scolded by the sheriff's department, and then their publication will be shunned by the powers that be. So go to the state and figure out what the real figures are, not the made up shit that the county's putting out for you. I will tell you, case point, our Lufkin Daily News, KTR9, they are a propaganda tool utilized by Angelina County, because the fact is that everything that's reported in their paper or in their publications has to go through and meet the approval of the county sheriff's department. It cannot be holding anybody in a bad light, even the commissioners, even the city councils. They cannot be held in a bad light. So they actually have to proofread what they actually write. I'll give you a case in point. There was this lady that was actually working at Lufkin Daily News. I think she worked there all of two months. She was a good reporter. I saw her at the city council meetings. I talked to her. This lady, I can't remember her name. Anyway, she wasn't there long enough. But anyway, we're talking to her, and I was really impressed by this young lady, because the fact is I was asking at a roundtable discussion we had. I was asking questions. She had answers. She had done research. I was like, oh shit, there's somebody I can talk to, because she's done research. I can compare numbers. I can compare the facts. I compare these things, and we can actually have a conversation. And not one time did it get heated. Even though we disagreed on some subjects, it never got heated, because we were both stating facts that were proven, and we both could actually quote where we got it from and who we got it from, and if it was reliable or not. I hate to be the one to tell you Angelina County, but at the local prayer meeting or your local watering holes or outside of Boots, it is not the best. It's not the best place to get reliable information. However, over the course of the years, we have relied on this information because we don't have any other way to check the stats of what people are actually claiming. Now we do. We have social media that we can actually go directly to the state. We have a phone where we can actually call individuals who represent the state. We can actually get the live numbers. And when you do that, you'll realize, shit, it hasn't gotten better. It's gotten worse. The value of a man or a woman is basically on this: is it how they stand up, not only to adversity, but how they stand up for the rights and beliefs that they have as a person. Everybody does not believe in and acts the same way about each individual subject, but you have to respect a man or woman who stands up for what they believe in. And anything else to attack them personally through their employers, to go and drive to a damn church to confront a preacher about his sermon and actually intimidate other individuals who are actually trying just to do one thing, to vote. Get the fuck out of here. If people can't see the problem with that, then you deserve the government you get. But if this continues on at this particular pace, we're going to get to a point to where it really doesn't matter. Our city council in Huntington, Texas, they're a joke. So is Diboll. They can't even tell you when they're meeting. Zavala is a place to watch because Zavala is actually doing things and they're actually preparing for the highway construction on 69, and they are actually adding businesses. Saying we can't do that here, saying we can't get our cities to understand that this is a good thing. It's not a bad thing, but nobody does their research. Today we have a police department that actually pushes the limits or push the envelope. They'll actually light somebody up within 300 feet of the city limit sign and stop them a mile down the road, and they think that that's okay. Per Texas state law, the only time you can pursue an individual outside your jurisdiction is if they've committed a felony. A traffic ticket is not a felony. The proper procedure is, hey, I got a speeder. He went through my town at such and such and such, and he headed your way. Can you stop him, please? And I'll meet you and I'll write him the ticket. But I'll meet him there, and then we'll squabble who gets to write the ticket. So any of those tickets that are actually issued outside of City of Huntington and you're actually being charged with them, they're illegal. Just like since 2014 to 2017, we had a police department who was actually pulling people over with radar guns that they weren't properly trained on. It takes 40 hours, and then you have to have 24 hours of actual live practice. In other words, you go out, you get the nomenclature of the end and where the dead spots are and things like this or whatever. But anyway, you actually have hands-on experience. However, the fact is that when push comes to shove, somebody asked the question, so well, how do you calibrate those some bitches? Here was the answer. Well, the car automatically does it. For those of you who don't know, that's bullshit. There's never been a car produced in the United States of America or in the world that actually could calibrate a radar gun or radar device. It has to be checked a certain method, and this method was never used for 4 years. Can you say how many tickets were actually written on untested or untested and inaccurate radar guns? I think if a lot of people knew that, whatever, like, you know what, I want my damn money back. But that was swept over I was swept out of the wind. Even in a Lufkin Daily News article, which was front page, when I actually went down and I confronted Casey Sizemore and some other individual, I don't know. Anyway, I told them about this. They went to Lufkin. Lufkin's doing their shit correctly. They do that. But when you turn the page, we actually interviewed our chief of police here in Huntington. He said, "Oh, we fell behind on that, but we're going to catch up. We'll comply. We'll comply." It's an admission right there. You've been doing it in the past. It's all these tickets are illegal. But nobody caught him on that. It's all covered up. In other words, what I'm saying is that the end of these individual things that are actually, they're pushing the envelope to actually arrest you or actually get you in the court to where they can get you into the system and actually get you to have to pay your probation, your whatever. It's all on bullshit charges. And guess what? You're the one who has to pay. And if they don't make enough money in this racket, then they'll raise your taxes. This goes on statewide and nationwide. We call it policing for profit. Here in Angelina County, they call it standard operating procedure. We have a department called CID. This is where investigations go to die. There's one person there who's an investigator, never gets out of his seat, never calls anybody, never does any investigation. All he does is clean up the police report to make sure that the county sheriffs are actually look good when they go to court. Personally, I can tell you right now, in my instance, on the police report, there was 14 officers that actually responded to my situation. There wasn't 14 people there. There weren't 14 people on duty. There's only 2 cars that showed up. But on the police report, it said 14 officers got here. Do you see how it's actually, this is what the court actually has to go to court with? And it's actually promoted by Kerry Kirby because the fact is he knows it's bullshit. But he doesn't want to take it to trial. What he wants to do is plea bargain your ass so he gets win-win for him. Hey, I get a plea bargain. County gets some money. Guess what? It's a win-win situation. I had to prove the damn thing. This is where we have our frustration. I don't know, but I don't think currently right now, my candidate that's running, I don't know why we believe that we need SWAT team right now. No, I don't believe we need that currently right now. I do not believe that we need individuals who are trained in room clearing and those type of things or whatever, because the fact is these individuals should have got this in their basic training. So now we're going to have to retrain these officers. I totally agree that we have to actually retrain the entire officer corps of the Angelina Sheriff's Department to actually rise to the threat levels and rise to the crime that's actually being committed here in Angelina County and combat it properly without taking shortcuts, and do it legally so it stands up in court and we can actually start convicting people that deserve to be convicted. Not convicted because you disagree with the sheriff or you disagree with the department, or you have raised your voice and asked them questions and put yourself on the skyline. If you don't know what to be put on the skyline, I mean, you're put on the hit list and you're watched. Many people who watch this video would like to say, you know what, I'm on that list. I've had many people say, I'm on that list. I got to keep them nosebleeds. They're just looking for a reason. It shouldn't be that way. But I will tell you this in closing. This is not the way that an election should be run. This is not the way that we get things done. This is not legal for a sitting sheriff to threaten citizens in any way, shape, form, or fashion about possible repercussions if they vote for another candidate is wrong. If you've experienced any type of intimidation in any way, shape, form, or fashion, I posted it on the page. If you're having a problem voting, there's a 800 you can call, or you can sit back and you can take it. This is the problem that we have here in Angelina County, because we have been used to everything running the way that not the majority, but a select few of individuals get together and they slam and they slander and they defame. They actually character assassinate individuals, gaslight these individuals into shame, and they'll actually pick on your kids. They'll actually shun you from the community if you speak up and say what you think. You're not supposed to do that here. Mr. Dan Davison told me at one time that the only way that I'm not a citizen, even though I'd lived here for 4 years, I'm not a citizen of Huntington because the fact is I have to live here 10 years to be taken seriously. Is that right? Did the rules change in our Constitution in Angelina County? Because I don't know. I'm asking the question here. I don't know. When did our elected officials, our law enforcement officers, when did they decide? And did we get to vote on when we throw our Constitution out the freaking window? When did we decide that their oath of office don't mean shit? When did we decide that it was okay that they break the laws just to get their bottom line and actually increase the amount of money that they have in their budget? A budget where we don't even know where it's at, where half of it goes. We know it goes into the general fund. Those are the items that will be discussed later. Tomorrow you go to the polls. Some of you, most of you went to the polls. But tomorrow, please remember this. You vote the way you want to vote. You vote on statistics and the facts that you know to be true, that you have researched, and you know in your principles, your morals, and your values what you think and do not, and how you feel that the county can be better. If you do this, you have voted your conscience, you have voted for yourself, and you ought to feel proud of yourself when you walk out of there, no matter what the vote is. Because even if your candidate loses, your vote will be remembered in the next election. Your vote will stem the tide of actual change that's actually going to happen in Angelina County, change for the better. We can no longer remain stagnant. We can no longer, as a community, remain stagnant. We can't. Criminals, individuals who wish to do wrong in Angelina County, they change their methods daily, if not weekly, daily, monthly, to outrun and outsmart our officers. We need to have officers who are willing and trained to actually accept these and initiate and understand that they have every day when they suit up and show up, they're going to learn something on how their people are doing things. The way you were trained, guess what? 10, 15 years ago, whatever, the crime community has changed. The shit you used to do 10 or 15 years ago, 6 years ago, 5 years ago, it don't work anymore. You got to be bigger and stronger than the average bear. This is what we're talking about, change. We are asking for just to keep up with the crime rate. We're not even asking for elimination. What we're asking for just to keep up with the crime rate and slow it down. This is a decision we're forced with. Just please keep up and keep it narrowed down. It's too goddamn much to ask for us to actually combat crime or the things that are affecting the people. Drugs have a lot to do with our society. They're actually the demeanor of all of our agencies, our businesses, the personnel, the people we have. That it affects all of us. But that's not the only problem. An all-out war on drugs is what we're actually facing. I'm good with that. But I'll caution, when you start a war on drugs here in Huntington, you're actually going to have to go to war with individuals that are actually not from Huntington because you're messing with their pipeline. We have already seen this drug war take place. Some people were killed mysteriously. So here is where we're getting back to the fact is we need a sheriff who's actually willing to admit that there's a problem and face it. We don't have that now. No candidate can be perfect. I'm not asking for perfection. I'm asking for somebody to suit up and show up and say, we're going to correct it, and this is what I'm doing today. And I'm not going to sit behind my desk and worry about rumors of war and shit like this so I can call to actually threaten other people. I want people out there training. I want them doing their jobs. I really believe that we deserve that, the amount of money that we're paying them. If they want to raise it, they have to earn it. People say, well, the new sheriff is going to come in and clean house. He probably needs to. It's not my decision, though. What is my decision is this, is that the current sheriff's department we have currently right now is not doing the trick. It's not working for people. It's actually victimizing people. We have people in Angelina County. I don't call it damn cops. That's wrong. That gives you an attitude right there. We don't trust the government. We don't trust our sheriff's department. We don't trust them to be fair, just, and honest. When you think about that, put it in your crawl for a little bit, and you think about that, I believe maybe you'll come up with we deserve to have a county sheriff that actually we can trust at least. Is that too much to ask from a citizen? I don't think so. You guys get up off your ass tomorrow, go vote. Please look at the other individuals on there. You have to vote Republican on the Republican ticket. If anybody tells you you can't vote for a Republican ticket, there is a number down here you can call. There's been some reports, Southwest Texas, they're not allowing people to, you have to choose the box to be counted or whatever. I don't know. I just pick up one of those boxes, whatever, because in fact, it's my constitutional party doesn't appear on the ballot. So I have no way. So I just pick whatever and I wait for the general election to go and cast my vote. But anyway, tomorrow for your sheriff's department, which Mr. Greg Sanchez is running against Mr. Brian Holly, and this is the main office that we're actually pertains to us here in Angelina County. Please get up off your ass and go vote. I don't care how you vote, just do it, and let the people decide this election, not the elites. We, the people, we get to decide this. Regardless of the smear tactics that have been used, regardless of what we've done, we get to make the decision. It doesn't make any difference how much pressure the other side puts on us. You got to stand up and vote. You guys be good. Be careful. Keep your powder dry. And always, 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 and ladies and gentlemen, keep your head on a swivel. Stay frosty, my friends.